I was diagnosed with ADD, attention deficit disorder, back when I was 13 years old, and I still have it. One thing that it does to me is it makes it so I don't retain information properly in a book. So I'll read a book and I won't know what I'm doing, or I'll start to read out loud and I will get ahead of myself. Or a simple tap, I will start to focus on that tap rather than the knowledge being presented to me. And so I've started this challenge to help me improve that. This is officially day 16 of reading out loud every single day. And I don't look at my ADD as a disorder. I think a lot of people will cope and they will be like, oh my gosh, I have ADD. And I was actually like, all of these people say they have ADD, but they weren't diagnosed with it. And I'm actually diagnosed. And it's like, damn, it's so frustrating. But I never used it as like a coping mechanism to be like, I suck at reading. So that's actually why I wanted to get into reading in front of the camera. We're at page 88 out of 160, and it's almost 12 o'clock, but I didn't want to miss today. So we're going to continue reading. I didn't get a chance to go over the product delivery cheat codes and like actually write them out. Hopefully in the morning I should be up by like 4 a.m. to start working on these things. My sleep schedule is going to get really crunked up now that I officially have like a job again. So I've been like working to try and get back out of it, but here we are. So, product delivery cheat codes. What's that? You're having trouble being creative? I'm going to give you the cheat codes right now. Kind of like I did with the brick example. Blah, blah, blah. Yeah, we read that last time. Alright. What level of personal attention do I want to provide? One-on-one, small group, one-to-many? B. What level of effort is expected for them? Do it themselves, DIY, figure it out. How to do it on their own? Do it with them, DWY, or you teach them how to do it. Done for you, DFY. You do it for them. C. If doing something live, what environment or medium do I want to deliver in? In-person, phone support, email support, text support, Zoom support, chat support. If doing a recording, how do I want to consume it? Audio, video, or written? E. How quickly do we want to reply? On what days? During what hours? 24/7, 9 to 5? Within 5 minutes? Within an hour? Within 24 hours? F. 10x to 110 tests. If my customers paid me 10x my price, or 100K, what would I provide? If they pay me 1/10 of the price, and I had to make my product more valuable than it already is, how would I do that? How could I still make them successful for 1/10 the price? Stretch your mind in either direction, and you'll come up with widely different solutions. In other words, how could I deliver on these solutions that I am claiming I will provide? Do this for each problem, because solutions from one problem will give you ideas for others you wouldn't normally have to consider. Remember, it's important that you solve every problem. I can't tell you the amount of times one single item becomes the reason someone doesn't buy. Anecdotal. Why we must solve every perceived problem. When I was selling weight loss, I insisted that folks prepare all of their food at home. I found it too difficult to help clients lose weight when they ate out because they always blew blew their diets. Rather than solve the problem, I insisted they do it my way, or not at all. As a result, I lost many sales. One month, I really needed to make some sales to pay rent. My next sale walked in the door. It was a business exec looking to lose weight. As we got into the sale presentation, she told me the program wouldn't work because she went out to eat for lunch every day. Normally, I would have lost this sale. I was a stickler for making people not eat out, but really needed the money. Refusing to lose the sale because of this one thing, I conceded. I'll make you an eat out guide, or I'll make an eating out guide for you. Go to restaurants so you can eat. You can eat our 100. Wait. Go to restaurants so you can eat our 100%. You can eat our 100% of the time. Dang, he really butchered that. It says R. You can eat out 100% of the time. They even circled that. I think the person I got this book from circled this because they realized that was wrong. So you can eat out 100% of the time and still hit your goal. How does that sound? She agreed, and I closed the sale. I took the time to make an eating out guide for her. But from that point forward, whenever someone said, "But what about eating out?" I had the solution. Over time, I continued solving obstacles with templates and trainings until there were no more one things. To prevent no more one things to prevent my sales. This lesson had stuck with me till this day. Don't get romantic about how you want to solve the problem. Find a way to solve every problem a prospect presents with. When you do that, you make an offer that's so good people just can't say no. And that's what we are building here. Note, you must resolve every obstacle a buyer believes they will have to convert the highest amount of people. That's not to say that if you don't, you won't sell people. Not at all. But you won't sell as many people as you otherwise could have. And that's the goal, to sell the most people for the highest possible price with the highest possible margin. Step 5. Trim and stack. Now that we have enumerated our potential solutions, we have a gigantic list. Next, I look at the cost of providing these solutions to the business. I have removed the ones that are high cost and low value first. Then I remove low cost, low value items. If you aren't sure what's high value, go through the value equation and ask yourself, which of these things will this person financially value? 2, cause them to believe they will be likely to succeed. 3, make them feel like they can do it with much less effort and sacrifice. 4, help them accomplish their goals and see the result they want with far less time investment. What should remain are offer items that are 1, low cost, high value, and 2, high cost, high value. Example, let's say I moved in with someone and did their shopping, exercising, and cooking for them. They would probably believe they would definitely lose weight, but I am not willing to do that for any amount of money short of a gazillion dollars. The next question becomes, is there a lesser version of this experience that I can deliver at scale? Just take one step back at a time until you arrive at something that has a time commitment or cost you are willing to live with. If there's one type of delivery vehicle to focus on, it's creating high value, one-to-many solutions. These will be ones that typically have the biggest discrepancies between cost and value. For example, before I started my first gym, I had an online training business. I created a small Excel sheet application that, after inputting all of someone's goals, automatically generated 100 meals perfectly suited to their micronutrients and calorie needs. Better yet, depending which meals they selected, would tell them what they needed to buy at the grocery store in exact amounts, and how to prepare them in bulk for their exact amounts. It took me about 100 hours to put the whole thing together, but from that point going forward, I sold truly personalization eating plans for very expensive prices, but they only took me about 15 minutes to make, high value, low cost. These types of solutions require a high one-time cost of creation, but infinitely low additional effort after. FYI, this is exactly why software becomes so valuable. That doesn't mean you don't ever want to do something in a small group or one-on-one model. After all, I do one-on-one with all my portfolio companies, CEOs, that we can help scale past 30 million plus. You just want to make sure you save those high cost items for big value ads only. If you think you can accomplish the same value with a lower cost alternative, then do that instead. When I was running my gym, I went through the exercise and created bulking blueprints and eating out systems, a travel eating and work guide, meal plans for every body, weight, and gender, a grocery list calculator. What is this? Pilates busting meal plans? Yeah, Pilates, I think is what that. Yeah, Pilates busting meal plans. Fast cooking guide partners with meal prep services, and did in-person nutrition orientations with every client. Many of the one-to-many solutions require more upfront work. Once created, however, they became valuable assets that create value in perpetuity. It's worth putting in the time to create these because they will create high profit margins for years to come. Real talk, the meal plans I made for gyms have been used by 4,000 plus gyms now, and literally hundreds of thousands of people. They are simple and easy to follow, so they have provided ample return for the week or two of dedication time I spent making them. And if you ever have the desire to build a repeatable business model, something that scales, these assets you will create would become the bedrock. These assets you create will become the bedrock. This book, for example, is a high value asset that is low cost overall. Sure, it cost me a lot of upfront, but each additional book I sell after my first one costs me very little and provides tremendous value. The final high value deliverable. Let's sum it up before we configure our final high value deliverable. Step 1. We figure out our prospective client dream outcome. Step 2. We list out the obstacles they're likely to encounter on the way. Step 3. We list out all those obstacles as solutions. Step 4. We figure out all the different ways we could deliver those solutions. Step 5. we trim those ways down to only the things that were the highest value and lowest cost to us. Step 5B, I guess step 5A I missed. Put all the bundles together into a ultimate high value deliverable. So let's go back to put the example. So let's go back to the example. We see our prospect struggling with the following. Formal note. I'm going to display each problem solution set as problem solution wording sexier name for the bundle. Then underneath you will see the actual delivery vehicle. I'm going to call it there.